What is poppin', guys? You got PTC here bringing you another Raw review. This one is for Monday, October the 26th, 2015. And we have a pretty good Raw to review tonight, guys. This is really something that I haven't been able to say confidently in a while. And I can honestly say this was a good show. This had build. It told a story throughout the show. It actually built to something bigger. I really liked a lot of the show. There were points in it where I wish, different things would have happened. Maybe I didn't like it as much. But as far as Raw goes, this is one of the better ones that we're going to get. And it's a shame that we have to come to that realization that Raw just isn't as good as it could be. But as far as I'm concerned, this was a good show. It wasn't the best thing ever, but this was a good, solid show. I actually was entertained for the most part throughout this show. So, jumping right into it, this is not something that would have given you guys a lot of confidence in how good the show was. But we started out with a boring Authority promo talking about how great Seth Rollins is, which we've become used to by now, so it was almost just second nature to brush it off. Essentially, the Authority come out and they announce that tonight, every single person who won a match at Hell in a Cell will have a shot to get in a fatal four-way match for the title, or for the number one contendership to the title. So basically what it is all the winners from Hell in a Cell, which there would be 8, 9, 10, there was a lot of them. There was a lot of winners. All the winners from Hell in a Cell would get the opportunity, obviously aside from Lesnar, would get the opportunity to compete, and if they won their matches, then they would go on to main event Raw in a fatal four-way match to determine the number one contender. This is what we desperately need on Raw. This is good competition, fighting for a purpose, giving everybody something to fight for, making the matches feel like they matter. This is one of the first Raws in a very long time where all of the matches, well, most of the matches anyway, carried a lot of weight with them. So most of them were actually fairly unpredictable in who you thought was going to win and go over here, and I think that is something that they need to continue doing. Now, obviously, you can't have a number one contendership fatal four-way every single week, but I think they're on the right track. I feel as though Triple H booked this whole entire Raw. I'm not sure if that was a report or if I'm just making it up, but I feel like either I heard it somewhere or I just think that it's the truth, that Triple H actually did most of this, because this was a very good show, and it had a purpose. The matches felt new and fresh for the most part, and they had a purpose. So, this is something that they don't do, is the number one contendership enough, and I was really happy with how they did that. And honestly, during the Authority promo, they looked like they were having a ball. They were out there laughing, cutting up. I mean, they actually looked like they were having fun, legitimate fun out there, which was something that I was happy with. Reigns comes out in the middle of the promo, and I was like, oh boy, oh boy, and I thought, maybe they're pushing him a little too far, too fast again, but he kept it short and sweet, and he said, Seth, I'm gonna win my matches tonight. I'm gonna win the Fatal 4-Way, then I'm gonna beat your ass for the title, and he pretty much dropped the mic, and that was it. So if we get that Roman Reigns that doesn't have to talk too much, that can just go out and put on decent matches with people, good matches with people, then, I have no problems with that guy Roman Reigns getting pushed. The Roman Reigns I don't want to get pushed is the one that talks too much. That's the one I don't like. But this one was good. This Roman Reigns was good, and it was believable. The guy came out and looked like a fucking badass, and he just told Seth, he said, I'm going to beat your ass for the title, and then that was it. That works. That works for Roman. Then out comes the New Day, and I'm thinking, oh no, you cannot pair Roman with New Day. The crowd is gonna eat him. I thought the crowd was gonna eat Roman alive in this match. So New Day kind of cuts a promo on Reigns, cuts a little shoot on Reigns. Nothing too serious, talking about his hair and whatever. So then it got me to thinking, why does New Day have to lead off every show now? Is it just a necessity for New Day to lead off Raw? I feel like it shouldn't be that way. Because we get New Day only once a night, usually, and it's at the very beginning, and that's just kind of like, I wouldn't mind waiting to see them sometimes. Make them a draw and an attraction that people want to see. Not just somebody that you throw out for a cheap pop at the beginning of a show. It's just how I feel about New Day at this point, but they're still great. They're still great. They still come up with things to say. They're still funny. They tend to maybe go a bit long every now and then, but tonight was not the case. They did a good job tonight. This was good. This was really good. This segment with New Day and Reigns, and even the Authority segment wasn't bad. It wasn't 20 minutes this time. It was more like 10 to maybe 15. So it wasn't as bad, or as long, I should say. It was still, But so I wrote down on my notes that they were wrong for killing New Day like this. What I mean by that is putting them against Reigns. First of all, you know that Reigns is going to win. You just know it. Second of all, it sucks because they want to get Reigns over, but at the same time, if you really, really want to get Reigns over, you don't need to put him up against the New Day. That seems like it's just not something to do. But I will say this. Roman Reigns fans tonight held their own against the crowd of people that didn't like Roman Reigns. It was a good pop for Roman. Tonight was a good night for him. We'll jump into that a little bit more. The one note that I really took from this match was that Reigns really didn't sell his match from last night at all, affecting him. Kind of bugged me. I said at least it's a fresh matchup. It was a fresh matchup. There was a schoolboy roll-up into a powerbomb that I thought was really nice from Reigns. Got a big pop. It was good. It's good to see stuff like that. Roman ends up winning with a spear. Kofi went for the Trouble in Paradise off the distraction. He missed, and Roman runs against the ropes and spears. I don't know why is he doing that now? Is that like his thing? Is he runs up against the ropes for the spear? If it is, that's cool. Doesn't matter. He's just done it a lot lately. I don't know if that's like his new thing or if it's been a thing. I just haven't paid attention to Roman Reigns, but yeah, he's doing that now. Anyway, next up we have Owens and Cesaro. I had a big issue with this. Okay, Cesaro, Ziggler, and Neville won on the pre-show. First of all, that shouldn't count as a pay-per-view, but I'll let it slide because it was a good match. Second of all, why wouldn't you just have Owens and Ziggler and let Owens go over? Then Cesaro can actually get put in that main event spot to really shove the guy. Really give him a nice push. He doesn't have to win. Of course not. That's Golden Boy Roman's spot. But if you just push Cesaro up there into the main event, Fatal 4-Way, let people know, hey, listen, we see who you're cheering for. We see that you love this guy. We're going to put him in this match. We'll see how he does, and maybe we'll move forward with the guy. Just give him a little something, I said this is pretty easy booking for the guys in the back. I mean, you just tell Cesaro and Owens to go out there and fight for 20 minutes and then come back, Doesn't really matter what you do. Just go out there for 20 minutes. You're going to do something great anyway because you're both amazing. Cesaro's way too good, guys. Cesaro's so nice in the ring. He's so good. And it's such a disservice to him to not have him in the main event picture constantly. He's way too good. He's at that level now to where he belongs up at the top. And he's just not there. And it's a shame that they don't want to push him there, but, it just happens. There was This Is Awesome chance, and Owens ends up beating Cesaro, going over pretty much the same way he did against Ryback, with the distraction against the ropes and pushing Cesaro for the pop-up powerbomb and a pin. And that was it. I mean, it was just cut and dry, just like, Ryback. And the only thing that I could say was at least he's winning like a heel. At least he's winning dirty. I know people don't want to see Kevin Owens become a cowardly, dirty heel. They just want to see him beat people to death. But at least they're letting him win. Honestly, for the U.S. title, if he would have beat John Cena for the U.S. title, and he won the way that he won tonight and at Hell in a Cell, would we have been that mad? Hell no. I would have taken that over a loss. So, I don't mind Owens doing this as long as he's consistently winning. The only problem with this was, like I said, Cesaro ended up losing. It just, at some point, you just got to stop making the guy lose. You just got to let the guy win sometimes. Every now and then the guy can win and get over. Let him win, okay? Just let Cesaro win. He deserves it. He really does. Next up, we have a very, very, very bad PCB segment in the back where Paige is talking on the phone with Conan O'Brien or somebody talking about Conan O'Brien. I didn't really catch it. the beginning of it anyway. Paige was talking on the phone. She mentioned Conan O'Brien. And Charlotte and Becky were off to the side looking pissy. And I didn't realize that we were filming Mean Girls tonight. But apparently we are. Much like every week. Paige essentially says, oh, well, since I gone on Conan O'Brien, everybody wants a piece of Paige and blah, blah, blah. And she says, listen, you know, I want to go out there with you guys tonight and help you because apparently they're in a match. And Becky Lynch is saying, no, you beat up Natty. No. Apparently this happened on SmackDown, I think. I didn't see it happen. So Natty was on TV for all of, 2 weeks and then taken back off? I mean, if you're going to give us something, don't half-ass give it to us. Just give it to us. If we want Natty, give us Natty. Don't give us half-ass, we'll give you 5 seconds of Natty. Give us Natty. She's good enough to be on the show constantly. Speaking of on the show, there was one Divas match tonight. And I think that's the first time in quite a long time that there was only one Divas match tonight. I am not sure how to feel about it. I know that the night was pretty much dominated by the number one contendership, which probably made a lot of people overlook it, but it didn't make me overlook it. I was hoping to see Sasha. She can go up against some enhancement talent. You know, somebody like Cameron, who's not doing anything. Eve Torres doesn't wait. Eve Torres might be pregnant or something. I have no idea. I honestly have no clue. Anyway, I said Becky could be my favorite diva in the whole WWE behind Sasha because she doesn't talk. She just stands there and looks like a badass, and that's all she does. She doesn't wrestle, but fuck, who cares? None of them can wrestle anyway except for Sasha. So, whatever. I mean, she could be my favorite. She really could be. And this bothers me because they had a six-woman tag team match. And I try to spend as much time on the divas as I do the men because they are important. This is an important division because it's an important time where, you know, women who watch wrestling would say their husbands or their kids don't mind seeing women wrestle and actually get time to wrestle and, you know, succeed. But to see the same shit over and over every week is kind of demoralizing at this point to a lot of us because I'm sitting there thinking, okay, maybe we'll get a new fresh matchup, Sasha versus Becky on Raw. How crazy would that be? And I thought, you know, maybe they're trying to save Becky, not have her lose too much, but she lost tonight in the six-man tag. I don't know. Paige hit some pretty nice knees at the beginning of the match. She was kneeing everybody in the face. That was pretty nice. And at some point in the match, of course, since we always must get it, we got a Brie mode. We got Brie mode. So, here's my question. Why is Brie winning so much? Yes, I get it. Nikki was the champion. Shouldn't she just be winning and not Brie? This is twice that Brie has won against one of the NXT women called up. Charlotte and Becky have both been beaten by Brie. Charlotte was beaten by a missile dropkick. Becky was beaten by a rack attack. So, there was a really ugly neck breaker. I don't know if it was Brie selling it or Charlotte hitting it that was bad, but the crowd just died after that. And they were popping. There was "We Want Becky" chants, guys. "We Want Sasha" chants happened at the beginning, but then "We Want Becky" chants came in. And I was thinking, please just get behind this girl. Just get behind her. You know, she's playing the black horse right now, the dark horse, not the black horse, the dark horse. What am I talking about? She's playing the dark horse right now. She's stuck in the back. Nobody's really paying any attention to her. You know, I want to hear the fans get behind this chick, and they did, and I was happy about that. But when she got in, she just jobbed out to Nikki Bella, or Brie Bella, pardon me. It's not even Nikki. I mean, it's still a spot fest. Charlotte comes in, hits her move. Nikki comes in and hits Paige with something. Then it's just a spot fest after spot fest after spot fest. And it's just like, I don't know. And then people cheer Brie Bella, even though she's supposed to be a heel because she's got a face moveset and she's never changed it. Brie mode is retarded, but people cheer for it. She does her Daniel Bryan kicks, which she should never do as a heel because that's just always going to get a babyface reaction. So it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me why she does all this. But yeah, we want Becky chance, and she just got squashed by Brie, and way to build new talent, WWE. Great job. I mean, Becky sure is relevant now that she got squashed in 5 seconds of being in the match. After the match, Paige attacks Charlotte and Becky for God knows what reason, because they're women and women fight. That's all I can think of. That's the only reason I can think that the WWE booking is stupid enough to have this happen. It's stupid. It's stupid booking. It's dumb booking. There was no reason for this. Nothing led up to it. Yeah, of course, Paige was being a little shady, but that doesn't mean that she just wants to attack them. It just was bad booking, and it didn't make any sense. There was actually a pretty big pop when Paige did this. I don't know if it was boos or cheers or what it was, but it was noise. They were making noise. Maybe it was just the people groaning as they sat back down in their seats after taking their piss break. I don't know. Next up, we had a backstage segment with Alberto Del Rio and Zeb Coulter. Zeb Coulter did a lot of talking, did most of the talking, saying that he wanted a country, rather, that had no borders, and he quoted a John Lennon song, did a lot of stuff. Zeb Coulter's fantastic on the mic, we all know that. And he names himself and Alberto Del Rio the Mex-Americans, which leads me to believe that the Lucha Dragons may not be far behind. This would have been a cool time to debut them beside him, mainly because they were in Cali, and Cali is really behind this gimmick. I mean, there was a lot of pops for this tonight for Del Rio, and he's supposed to be a heel, which I'll get to. Del Rio had a match against Neville, and I was thinking, okay, so Del Rio's definitely heel if he's going out there to squash Neville, because Neville's supposed to be big babyface. So they get out there, and Del Rio's getting cheered, while Neville's just getting no reaction. And I'm thinking, why in the hell would you stick Neville in a match with Alberto Del Rio to lose? And that just gets all the babyface heat off of Neville completely that he had coming in, because nobody wants to boo Del Rio on his return right now, especially not in California. You get him somewhere like New York or somewhere where there's not a big Hispanic population, and yeah, maybe he'll get some boos on his second ever match back in the WWE. It just was bad booking for me to have Neville in this match. And I said it's too bad, that Neville isn't going to beat Del Rio tonight, because he can't. Otherwise, he'd get booed out of the building. So, it was just a pointless match to me. This is one of the matches tonight that didn't make a whole lot of sense. In the sense that Adrian Neville shouldn't have been in this match. He just shouldn't have been. They could have picked anybody else. Have New Day do it. I know it's heel versus heel, but Del Rio's not a heel in California in his second returning match right now. He's just not. He's not a heel. Not right now. He will be, but you have to build him that way. You can't just have him walk in and expect people to know whether he's face or heel in his second match. You have to build a guy. Now, as far as the work in the match was concerned, these two put on a show in the match. I thought Neville was fantastic. I thought Del Rio looked tremendous. And he's been working with the smaller luchador type guys, and that's what Neville is essentially. So he's been working with guys like Neville in Mexico. So it's really helped him. It really helps him to wrestle a guy like Neville, just to get back into the swing of things in WWE and how they do it. I think it was good for him. Bad for Neville, but good for him. This match was tremendous. I mean, there's no... The only thing that I can say about this match was that I wish Neville wasn't in it to get squashed. I feel like Del Rio's gimmick is going to get heat. I feel like him and Coulter are going to get some heel heat anywhere but California right now. With the Hispanic population the way it is, places that don't have a very high Hispanic population, because typically in the WWE, and a trope of what it is that foreigners are heels. It's just the way that they book them, and it's dumb and really nationalistic, but that's how it is. Okay? So, with that being said, I think they'll get some heat on this whenever they are in a state like New York or Maine or North Dakota or somewhere where there's not a huge Hispanic population. Not saying that people don't like Hispanics or Mexican people, just saying that there's not a big population of it. People may not care or want to care about Del Rio, so they boo him. It's just that simple. And he worked like a heel tonight, a dirty, nasty heel, and they still cheered him because he's Alberto Del Rio and he came back. So I didn't like the fact that Neville's in this match with him, but it's whatever. Alberto Del Rio wins with a Neville gets his foot stuck on the ropes in the corner, and Alberto Del Rio wins by jumping on his chest. Two signature moves, I guess you could call them that aren't finishers, that Alberto's won with. I don't really like this. I want him to hit a finisher. If he needs a new finisher because the armbar is just used too much, that's fine. Because they're using the armbar with a couple of women now, and Asuka and Becky Lynch. Maybe do something different with him, but that's fine. But don't have him win with signatures. That makes the other guys look weak, really weak. And it's like I said, on my Hell in a Cell review with Cena, that just makes everybody that Cena's ever won against look weak. And same thing here. Kind of bugged me. And I said, so if Big E wins, it's all champions at Reigns. Well, I wonder who's going to win. I mean, it's just that simple, because Big E and Ziggler had a match later. But next we have the actual piss break match of the show, which is Ryback and the Dudleys versus Rusev, Sheamus, and Barrett. God, why are we sticking Rusev, Sheamus, and Barrett together constantly? That's not something that needs to continue to happen, WWE. We're going to get tired of it. Just because you stuck them together 3 straight matches doesn't mean that you need to continue on this trope. No. Bad WWE. Bad. No. This is not what we need. We need Rusev to get away from them. We need Rusev to have another fresh feud. If you want to turn him babyface, turn him baby. I think the people would like to cheer Rusev. He's got a cool moveset. He can work like a baby. His selling is babyface selling 101. His facial expressions. This guy can work. And he can work as a babyface. But do something with him. Don't just stick him in these matches, because this was a shitty match. Here's my notes. Boring. Why is it happening? Triple Meat Hook got some heat because it was Ryback, Bubba Ray, and Devon going, feed me more, feed me more, feed me more. And then they meat hooked the 3 of them. That's all it was. Crowd popped for the table because every crowd pops for get the tables. It's just natural. And then Wade Barrett wins with a roll-up. And he skips around the ring like he's celebrating a championship win, does a front flip up the ramp, and they all celebrate together. That was the end of the match. What a pointless fucking waste of my time. Which I can clearly say it's the only pointless waste of time tonight, which is good. Yeah. It's definitely an improvement from maybe 2 or 3 matches being a waste of time to just one of them tonight being a waste of time. So we're on an upward trend. Next up, we had a segment with Bray Wyatt. If you guys missed out the Hell in a Cell review, please go check it out. It is on the channel. There was a lot that happened to Hell in a Cell, but essentially, at the end of Hell in a Cell, Bray Wyatt carried The Undertaker back to the back. After beating him senseless with the Wyatt family, they carried him to the back. Bray comes out and cuts a killer promo tonight. And the people were doing what chants, and once he really got into the meat of this promo, the people shut the fuck up. Because they knew, oh boy, this is an actual Bray Wyatt promo. This is some good shit here. And it was tremendous. This is the Bray that we need. Thank God for this promo, because he was looking dead in the water after losing to Reigns. I've got chills just thinking about the promo that he cut tonight. This was super good. And if you guys can't tell, I'm a Bray Wyatt guy. I believed in this guy ever since he came up. I said, this guy is a top guy. Let him go. Let him be free. He can talk. He can wrestle. He is the guy. But WWE tend to disagree with me, and they did on Bray Wyatt as well, because he has not been pushed like a top guy. However, he cut a beautiful promo. He started out by saying that he'll come for Roman someday. He said, Roman, I'm not finished with you. Someday, I'll come for you when I'm rejuvenated. When I'm rejuvenated, I will come for you. And I was thinking, okay, that's what I wanted to hear. Don't let Roman get the last laugh or last word. You tell him that you'll be back. That's good. It's good stuff. Then talks about The Undertaker. says that The Undertaker's destruction and downfall will be his resurrection. Says he's feasting on The Undertaker's soul, and it all makes sense. Bray took the loss to Reigns, and he said, you know what? I'm not going out like this. So he goes and he gets Undertaker, and he says, fuck it. You know? I'm going to go get The Undertaker. And he got him. And he's saying that he's going to beat The Undertaker down and break him down until there's nothing left of him, until he's just bones. That's really chilling stuff that Bray Wyatt said tonight. At the end of his promo, Bray says, let's take a moment of silence. Put your hands on your television sets and have a moment of silence with me for The Undertaker. And he says, rest in peace. Takes his hat off. He says, rest in peace, Phenom. And then he starts laughing. If they would have ended it right here, I would have been more than excited. I would have said, okay, so far no build for Survivor Series. Maybe you're just, playing them off till Mania. That works. It certainly works. It really does. But no, out comes Kane. And I thought, fuck, no, WWE. No, WWE. Bad. No. Do not do this. No. So out comes Kane. Kane clears house. The Wyatt family appears, and Kane clears house. That's tough to say. Kane clears house, and he just starts wrecking everybody. And I'm thinking, oh God, why? Just why? Why does Kane have to be the guy that comes out and clears house? I get it. He's the Undertaker's kayfabe brother, but you don't need to do this. And I mean, way to make the family look strong. Kane comes out at 50 years old and just beats everybody up. Strowman gets in the ring. Kane throws him out. Blah, blah. And then, of course, the Wyatt family get the upper hand and eventually beat Kane down. And they carry him to the back like they did the Undertaker and drag him to the back, which is good. Good, WWE. Good. Okay. You still fucked Bray Wyatt last night by not giving him a win, but okay, all right. We'll see where you're going with this. If this leads to Roman Reigns, or not Roman Reigns, if this leads to Bray Wyatt versus The Undertaker at Survivor Series and he loses, I'll throw a table. I will find a table. I will go out to a store, buy a table, lift it up over my head, and throw it into the WWE windows. At their main headquarters, I will throw it through a window, a glass window. Seriously. Don't fuck this up. You got one shot. Kill The Undertaker. Bray needs to kill The Undertaker dead. Undertaker does never need to come back after this. But if Bray kills The Undertaker, that's a good rub. It's a really good rub. So, next up, we have Ziggler versus Big E. I didn't care about this match. Tyler Breeze came out. That was cool to see him on Raw. They kind of should have maybe debuted him on Raw instead of debuting him on SmackDown where nobody fucking cares. So his Raw pop was kind of whatever. It wasn't as good as it would have been had he debuted on Raw. I don't like his entrance with the selfie stick, and I don't like the camera up at the top. I don't like that. It should just be his whole face. He shouldn't even have any entrance video or anything. It should just be the camera. I don't know. Personal preference, I suppose. But he comes out and they sit in a VIP area. Thought that was a nice touch. It's alright. Yeah. Okay. They showed him a couple of times throughout this match. I mean, this match was pretty boring and bland. I thought Big E should murder Dolph Ziggler, but of course he does not. Dolph Ziggler ends up winning this match. I don't even know how. I kind of phased out. I really did. I kind of phased out. I said Big E needs to win this match, and he didn't. Why are guys like Dolph Ziggler now all of a sudden beating guys like Big E? Big E is a 350-pound amazing athlete who should theoretically be beating guys that are smaller than him like Ziggler. So, dare I say, way to make your tag team champions look strong tonight by having both of them lose. Good work, WWE. Fantastic job. So now the New Day look like shit. On top of that, you got Neville, who looks like shit. Cesaro looks like shit. And who else lost tonight? Neville, Cesaro, Cole. No, that's it. They look like shit. Oh, and Ryback and the Dudleys look like shit. But they already look like shit, though. Oh, and Becky Lynch looks like shit. Oh, and Charlotte looks like shit, too, because Paige beat their ass after the match. Okay. The whole Divas division looks like shit. Oh, and the tag team division looks like shit. Oh, and the Intercontinental Championship kind of looks like shit, too, because Owens... You know what? It's okay. We'll forget all about that. We'll forget all about that because we have the match of the night. If I told you that Owens and Cesaro would be fighting for 15 minutes on this card tonight and wouldn't get match of the night, would you have kicked me in my nuts like Taker? I think you would have. I think you would have low-blowed me like Taker and then hit me with a tombstone pile driver. But I promise you, this Fatal 4-Way match was the match of the night, guys. This was something here. These guys put in a lot of work tonight. Roman Reigns, Del Rio, Ziggler, and Owens. First of all, it's nice to see Owens in an important spot on the card. It's not nice to see Dolph Ziggler there because he's done nothing to earn it. Dolph Ziggler was in a pointless feud with Rusev. Dolph Ziggler told Summer Rae to fuck off, and now Dolph Ziggler is getting a chance at a title. A potential chance at a number one contendership in kayfabe. God, we already knew that he wasn't going to win. But let me ask you this. What does it hurt to have this match be Roman, Owens, Cesaro, and Neville? Then what you can do is put over the new face of the WWE, the new generation, the next generation of big-time superstars. Because guess what? All of them came through NXT. Every single last one of them. They were all there. Reigns, Neville, Cesaro, and Owens. You put them all four in this match. First of all, you create a sense of disbelief. Because at that point, you don't know who's going to win. You say, oh my God, is Cesaro actually getting his push? Of course, the reason they didn't do this is because God forbid that Roman Reigns ever impedes Cesaro's push. Because everyone would lose their minds. But imagine the match those four could have put on tonight. I think they missed their opportunity. However, this was still a match of the night candidate. I had to get it out of my chest. I had to get it out of my chest. Off my chest. Out of it. Had to get it out of my chest. Cesaro, Neville, Owens, and Reigns. The face of a next generation. Who will challenge another face of the next generation, Seth Rollins? What a concept to really put over the future. Instead of having a guy like Del Rio who's been there for a long time and left, and a guy like Ziggler who's been there forever. Thought they missed an opportunity. However, this match was fantastic. A lot of it was spent on the outside. On the floor doing different spots. Owens and Del Rio, I thought, were fantastic working together as heels. They did a good job. Owens talking during the match is completely out of control. It is completely out of control. One thing I did want to note, and I think Seth Rollins said it on commentary as well, Roman Reigns had the longest rest of anybody tonight, which was weird. He's the face and is supposed to overcome all obstacles, but he had to rest the longest. Okay. Anyway, it starts out outside. It pretty much stays on outside. There was a spot with, who was it? Owens and Del Rio in the ring working on Dolph Ziggler. They start, hitting their shit, getting their shit off, working as a team. Then Del Rio goes for a pin on Ziggler, and Owens, pulls him off and says, "What are you doing? We're not pinning right now. We're not doing that. Not right now. No. He said, "Listen, let's double suplex him, okay?" And then Del Rio's pissed, and he's just looking at him, and Owens goes, "Deep breaths. Now let's go double suplex him." And then Del Rio punches him, and then Owens punches him back, and they start fighting. I thought that was a great sequence between Owens and Del Rio. I think him talking in the ring is probably the best thing in the WWE right now. As far as just, guys doing extra, going that extra mile, I think Owens just is the best at it. He goes so far, above and beyond just wrestling in the ring. The way he talks, his mannerisms in the ring, he does a fantastic job. This match ended up being sort of a spot fest towards the end, but not so bad. Kevin Owens hits a double cannonball onto Ziggler. Then he runs to the other corner and hits a cannonball it's a cannonball onto Ziggler, and then the other corner was a cannonball onto Rio. Then Roman Reigns and Owens are standing toe to toe, to which the place literally erupted with Owens and Reigns. And I was thinking, this is awesome. And there go the chants. This is awesome. And it was. To see Owens and Reigns standing face to face, this was awesome. So what happens? Kevin Owens throws him into the ropes, goes for the pop-up powerbomb. For a split second, every single internet wrestling community fan held their breath. They sucked the wind in and they said, please. But, ooh. Roman Reigns hits a Superman punch. Kevin Owens goes down. And Roman Reigns hits a spear. And it's 1, 2, burial. Welcome to the WWE, Kevin Owens. Home of you getting buried. Why couldn't this have been Ziggler to take that spot? Why couldn't Ziggler get the L? I get it. Owens and Reigns is a huge pop. People are going to go nuts for Reigns and Owens. But why not this? Why not have Owens go for the pop-up powerbomb? Reigns hits the Superman punch. Owens is disoriented, rolls out of the ring. In comes Dolph Ziggler, goes for a zigzag on Reigns from behind, gets the crowd to go, oh! Then Reigns pushes him into the ropes and spears him. Is that so hard to do? Is that such a hard concept to not bury your Intercontinental Champion by having him lose clean to one finisher? I mean, come on. This is a guy that we really need to protect because he's gotten such good heat so far, I would say, and he's got a fan base around the guy. If you really want to bring prestige to your IC title, don't have the guy get beaten by somebody who isn't a champion. Because there should be no title divisions. There should be no IC title division, and the mid-carders sit here. And there should be no higher title division, and the heavyweights go up there, the main eventers. That shouldn't be a thing. The main eventers should take on lower titles, just like the mid-carders, quote-unquote, should take on the higher titles. You know what? I wouldn't be too fussed about seeing Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens at Survivor Series and seeing Seth and Neville at Survivor Series. Would you? This stereotype and this stigma around the WWE and their title divisions shouldn't be a thing. Everybody should get equal opportunity at every title. So for me, it seems stupid that a champion gets pinned by a non-champion clean after one finisher. Ooh-ah. Now what are we left to think? That Owens could never beat Reigns? Maybe I'm looking too far into it, but I just feel like they kind of fucked Owens. But I will say this. That place was hot for Roman Reigns tonight. I don't know if it was California. I don't know if everybody in California was just, high the whole time and really excited to see somebody win. That's such a bad stereotype. It's a joke, obviously, guys. I mean, calm down. But I don't know if it was California or if it's just Roman Reigns potentially getting over. But Roman Reigns got a big pop tonight. That's all I'm going to say. So overall, on Raw, we had 5, I think, really good matches and 2 very, very abysmal matches. PCB and Team Bella and Bubba Ray Dudley and the Crew against fucking Rusev and Crew. Those were bad matches. The rest, were really solid. The backstage segments were fine. Bray Wyatt's promo, bone chilling. Go listen to it now. I'm telling you guys, this was a good show. So, my final rating for Monday Night Raw, October the 26th, 2015, is a 7.5 out of 10. This is a really good show. Really good. Really good show. I'm excited for the build to Survivor Series now. This has made me excited. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins is going to sell, guys. I know a lot of people don't want to see Reigns get pushed like this. This is a sell match. This match is going to sell big. I mean, big. These people are going to pay out the ass to watch this match. I don't blame them. I don't blame them. This is going to be good. If they continue the build, I would like to see Owens get a good wrestler for his feud. I would like to see Del Rio versus Neville for the IC or for the US title. That would be interesting. It'd be fun. I want the payoff for Del Rio to be Swagger. I think it would be a good story, and it's a good way to get Jack Swagger something to do. Also, to make him look strong. So, maybe give Del Rio somebody to beat. Maybe don't give him Neville. Who knows? Right now, I think Del Rio is going to hold the title for a while, and that's fine. I think Owens will hold it for a while, and that's fine, but we need good matches out of those guys. Not 7-minute squashes. WWE. I'm excited to see where this goes. I hope you guys will stick around the channel for future Monday Night Raws and subsequently Survivor Series. And that would be amazing. So if you haven't already, make sure that you hit the subscribe button down below. It really does help the channel grow. Hashtag spitting these hot flame bars. Spitter. Yeah. Also, leave a like if you did enjoy, and leave a dislike if you didn't enjoy. Let me know why in the comment section down below if you didn't enjoy this. Also, let me know what you guys thought about Monday Night Raw, your favorite spots, your favorite matches, everything in between. And with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here, and I'll see you guys next Monday. I'm out.